Hi, my name is Chase Kazmarek. I'm the inventor of wheel shields, and I'm here today to teach you how to install wheel shields onto your longboard. If you're under the age of 10, please get a parent or guardian to help you follow these instructions. Installing wheel shields improperly can lead to injury or death. So follow along, pay attention, and your longboard's going to look just like this. Your set of wheel shields comes with everything shown here. You have 4 wheel shields, you also have a custom skate tool, 8 inner nuts, 8 outer nuts, and 4 spacers. We've removed the wheel to show exactly how wheel shields install. First, you want to make sure you're using bearing spacers. You should be using them anyway. Then you've got the inner nut. Then the wheel shield comes perfectly right over that. Then you take the spacer, and you're going to put it over the axle. And then lastly, the outer nut comes and is tightened on over that. The first thing you need to do is take off the nut that comes standard with your longboard. Take the skate tool, this end should say 13 millimeters, and rotate off the nut that comes standard with your board. Once you've done this, set it aside. The next thing you want to do is grab one of the inner nuts. This is the inner nut. It is labeled TDA2. It's important that you use the right nuts on the inside and the other nuts on the outside. Otherwise, the complete installation won't work. So take this nut, labeled TDA2, and put it on the end of your axle. You can rotate it around with your fingers just a little bit. Then take the skate tool that's included with your set of wheel shields and rotate it all the way on. You want to make sure that you tighten it as much as possible. The tighter you get this nut, the more stable and strong your wheel shields are going to be. Get some hands and rotate it and really put some elbow grease into it. This is the mount of the wheel shield. You'll see that the nut can fit in it in 2 different ways. Once you've tightened the nut, you want to make sure that it's oriented in either one of 2 different ways. Right here, you see that the flat end of the nut is completely parallel to the flat end of the board. You can either have it like that, or with a pointy end facing upward, just like this. You always want to tighten to get to whatever orientation you need to be at. This is the other orientation. You'll see that the pointy end of the nut is facing upward toward the board. Once you've tightened the nut, take the wheel shield and use this double hexagon pattern on the inside to fit it directly over the edge of the nut. Just like this. Looking at it sideways, it should look completely over top of the wheel. You don't want it angled this way or this way. You want it directly over top of the wheel. The next thing you want to do is take one of these included nylon spacers and put it over the axle. This ensures separation between the wheel shield and the outer nut, which keeps the wheel shields from getting damaged and also makes the mount a little bit stronger. Next, take one of the outer nuts. These nuts are labeled A2-035. What you want to do is take the nut and put it onto the axle just like you did with the inner nut. It's easiest to do this with the board laying like this. Take the nut and rotate it on. If you run into problems when you're rotating on the outer nut where it seems to go sideways or just doesn't want to rotate on, you just need to take it off and start again. The nut should rotate on fairly easily until it's fully engaged. These outer nuts have a slightly different thread count than the thread count of the trucks. This ensures that the nut grabs against the threads of your truck so that the wheel shields cannot rotate off. So you want to make sure that this nut is completely engaged before you use your wheel shields. The next thing you do is take your skate tool and rotate this nut on as hard as possible. You're going to feel a little bit of rotational resistance because of the different thread count. We've ensured that the steel of the nut is not hard enough to damage your trucks. Take this, rotate it on really, really hard. Once you think you've gotten it as tight as possible, take the tool off and then do it again. You want to make sure that it's extremely, extremely tight. And again, you should get a parent or guardian to help you if you don't think you've got it tight enough. Once it's installed, that's it, you're done. You want to grab the wheel shield, try to rotate it really hard in both directions, and ensure that it cannot come off. Making sure that your wheel shields are really firmly installed is the key to using them safely. Now, all that's left to do is repeat these steps for all 4 wheels. You'll have 4 wheel shields perfectly installed over each wheel. Before each ride, you should grab each wheel shield and make sure it's firmly mounted by rotating it as hard as possible in each direction. If you experience additional friction after installing wheel shields, try putting a spacer between the bearing and the inner nut of the wheel shields. Some bearing manufacturers have poor tolerances, and you may need to use a spacer to ensure that additional friction isn't incurred. Thanks for following along with us in video. We know you'll love your wheel shields. Please shoot us any questions or comments at info@wheelshields.com. Make sure you always wear a helmet and proper safety pads, and please follow local laws. Thanks again, have a great day, and enjoy your wheel shields.